All right, right now we're going to be joined by a man who we've had on numerous occasions now in the past, and somebody who I love getting the chance to talk to. Chris Jericho, what's going on, my man?
Nothing much, man. Just nonstop rocking as usual.
That's great. We've got the draft coming up tonight on Monday Night Raw, and you're currently on the Raw brand. My first question to you is, would you mind being traded to SmackDown or ECW?
I wouldn't mind getting traded anywhere. I mean, our boss is Vince McMahon, and wherever he wants me to go and wherever he deems I'm most wanted and most needed, I'll go, to be quite honest with you. And it really is that way because nobody really knows exactly what's going on. They've really kept it as a big, kind of a big secret to everybody, and that's cool. I mean, however they want to play it. I'm a performer, and I'm going to do what I do to steal the show no matter what show I'm on, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm. So which wrestlers would you like to face in the ring should the possibility open up after this year's draft? Somebody from any of the three rosters?
Well, I mean, I've wrestled everybody so many times, and if I had my choice, I'd stay on Raw. I like the live aspect of it, and I've just kind of started a whole new thing on Raw, and I'd like to kind of keep it there. But wherever I go, like I said, and I've wrestled everybody so many times. I've never wrestled Undertaker before, though, ever. So it'd be interesting. I think Jericho versus Undertaker. But other than that, I mean, anybody. It doesn't matter. Everybody's wide open. So.
Tonight on Monday Night Raw, we're going to see the third edition of $1 Million Mania. We were wondering, there's been a lot of talk amongst the critics on the internet saying this is somewhat desperate, but on the, the boys side of things in the back, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, if Vince wants to give $1 million away every week of his own money, and more power to him. If people don't like it, then they can go and start up a business that becomes a cultural phenomenon and a worldwide success, and then spend their money the way they see fit. But, I have my deal with Vince, and I make the money that I make, and if he wants to give $1 million away every week, it's got zero to do with me. So I'm sure there's some guys that are complaining about it, but like I said, if they complain about it, then they can go become a billionaire and do what they decide to do with their money. But Vince is a visionary, and he tries things, and some of them work huge, and some of them don't work, and some of them, are kind of just in the middle. And he has ideas and things that you think are crazy, and he's been that way his whole career and his whole life. So he's trying this thing, and we'll see if it works, and see what the overall effects of it are over the next month, year, who knows. But Vince is a very smart guy, and he has no problem trying things, and usually his instincts are right. I'll say that for him.
Mm-hmm. You're currently embroiled in a feud with HBK Shawn Michaels, and as we saw recently on the highlight reel, you bashing his head into your television monitor, and that was just vicious. How did that idea come about?
It was my idea. It was something that I was trying to think of, something very unique and monumental for kind of this quote-unquote heel turn. And kind of, the way that Shawn did it back in the early 90s when he super kicked Jannetty through the barbershop window. I wanted something like that iconic, and that people would remember for years and years and years. And I'd had that Geritron for years, and never, ever had even thought about doing anything with it until I guess I was just kind of sitting around the ring, and I looked at it, and I said, that'd be great if I could put his head through it. But to be honest with you, I didn't expect the stunt to look as good as it did. They really did a great job of setting that up and making it look great. And so in my mind's eye, what I was seeing wasn't even as good as what they actually did, which is pretty rare. Most of the time it doesn't look as good as you imagine, but this was even above and beyond.
Recently there's been a bit of a trend to have less blood involved in Raw and involved in pay-per-views, and with that angle when Shawn Michaels went through the television, wouldn't you think that'd be a time that someone would warrant blading on television?
Well, I don't really have an opinion either way. I think that it didn't really make a difference because it was such a vicious-looking, stunt, and I think the fact that Shawn is now selling his eye, I'm all about doing things differently, and if we can build a whole angle around glass being in his eye, then you didn't need the blood. So people are going to complain about everything. That's one thing about critics and about the internet and whatever. So it doesn't matter what it is. They're going to find something to complain about rather than just admitting that it was a great-looking stunt and it was a monumental night. There's always has to be somebody saying, well, it should have had blood. It didn't look, it should have been blood. So I I think just, keep your mouth shut and just continue watching the storyline, and I think everybody will be happy in the end.
Well, it did look good, and it was a very effective segment. My next question is the following. Do you have any preference between working heel or face?
No, I think there's an art form to both. I think it's a lot easier to make people hate you than it is to make them like you. I think it's very difficult to be a babyface who's really truly liked, and I also think it's hard to be a heel that's really truly hated. I think a lot of times people, we'll boo this guy and we'll cheer this guy because this guy's the bad guy and this guy's the good guy. But to really get that primal emotion of really not liking somebody, it's a very difficult thing to do. So, like I said, there's real technique to doing both. Having said that, for me, I always enjoyed being the heel more than the babyface because you don't have as many rules. You can color outside the lines, and I play a character when I'm on screen, and I love playing the character of Chris Jericho, the heel. So I'm excited to continue and kind of blossom this role. I'm also trying some new things and trying to reinvent what I do as a heel and what a heel does in general. So far it's been working. We'll see how it continues on.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Chris, this is the Viz. Great to talk to you. I just wanted to ask you about the last pay-per-view you worked was One Night Stand, where you had a run-in during the Batista and HBK stretcher match. How does this One Night Stand, the more recent incarnation, compare to the original ECW version where you wrestled the first match against Lance Storm?
Well, they're two completely different animals. I mean, obviously the first One Night Stand was more of a time machine, the nostalgia thing to go back to the old ECW days, and that was a lot of fun. It was really like being in a time machine, and even to the point where I wore my old Lionheart costume and all that sort of stuff, and it was fun. And but this One Night Stand was for me much better because there was a whole overlying story, and obviously I came out to was I there to encourage Shawn Michaels, or was I there to try and trick him into going out there and getting the crap kicked out of him even more so? And knowing that the story's gone, that's exactly what I was doing, was trying to use his own ego against him and go back and get the crap kicked out of him again. And the fact that it was just more than basically a cameo, but there was a huge story behind it. I'm all those storylines, man. I could wrestle anybody any night. That's all fine and dandy, but there has to be, for me to really enjoy it and really get into it, I like a really good, intricate, unique, long-term storyline, and that's what we're in the midst of right now. We started it back, 2-3 months ago now. So those are always my favorite things, are the good stories.
Yeah, definitely. This Sunday is Night of Champions, actually, speaking of pay-per-views, and officially you don't have an opponent yet, but I do presume you will be defending your Intercontinental Championship against somebody, so who will it be? Will it be Shawn Michaels this Sunday?
I don't know. Once again, I am the Intercontinental Champion. Every belt, every title is defended on this show. So I will be facing somebody. I don't know if it's going to be Shawn Michaels or if it's going to be, who else doesn't have a dance partner, CM Punk or MVP or Funaki. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what show I'm going to be on. I don't know who I'm going to be defending against. I don't know anything. I'm the worst interview in the world today. I have no information for you. I wish I could tell you the secrets of the world, but I honestly don't really know.
No, I don't agree with that. I always think you're great to have on the program. Steve?
And one